We're here today for a status hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are also live streaming, and I'm recording to the Zoom cloud. I don't have a reporter this morning. All right. We'll go ahead and take announcements first.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Erica Flores is my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Tracy Riley, and I'm appearing at this point for Keston Campbell, who is present and ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Tremaya.
Okay, Ms. Riley?
Judge, Ms. Campbell and I have spoken. She's informed me that she does not want my representation, that she did not want a court-appointed attorney, that she evidently at the prior court appearance had told Your Honor that she did not want an attorney appointed. I let her know that since I was appointed by the court, I would be staying in my position as her attorney and be acting as her attorney until either I received information from another attorney that she had hired or been appointed, or until Your Honor let me know that my services were no longer needed. And so that's the position that I'm in. In addition to that, I believe she called my office and asked for us to file for continuance for today. I did not do so because I did not have any grounds to ask for that. But I just wanted to let the court know that that is currently the position that I'm in.
Okay, let me address those things then. Ms. Campbell, I believe you applied for a court-appointed attorney. You qualified, therefore I appointed one for you. You may have said that you were going to retain one, but until you do, I would strongly advise that you continue to let Ms. Riley represent you. If you're asking that she withdraw from your case, I'll consider it, but that's kind of what goes along with getting a court-appointed attorney. You don't get to pick who it is. So what is your intent? Are you intending to hire an attorney, or have you done so? And if you have, why aren't they here? And you're muted. You're going to have to unmute.
Okay, I had an attorney through legal aid, but since Ms. Riley was on the case, they had to drop me.
That's not exactly how it works, Ms. Campbell. They could have just, they could have filed a motion for her to withdraw and substitute in. So
I spoke to legal aid, Your Honor, and they informed me that they had not finalized representation of Ms. Campbell and were not planning on proceeding that. I did inform them that I was happy to withdraw from the case if they were representing her.
Okay, so that doesn't really help at all. So what is your intent, Ms. Campbell? Do you want Ms. Riley to...
Ms. Riley's fine.
Well, I think Ms. Riley is good at her job,
Yes, ma'am.
whether it's a court-appointed attorney or whether you retain an attorney. Attorneys are going to tell you what they think is the best thing for you to do.
Okay.
May not always be what you want to hear, but they're going to give you their best advice.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can either act on that advice or you could ignore it, I suppose. But I would strongly suggest that you act on your attorney's advice. So if you're not telling me right now, sitting here today, that you want me to take her off your case, then I'm going to leave her in place.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. If you decide that you want to retain a lawyer, they all know how to do that. So they all know how to substitute and file what they need to file. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right. Okay, then let's see. The second issue. I'm sorry, Ms. Riley. I just lost my...
That was it for me, Judge. I just wanted to make sure that the court knew that and just to make sure that whether or not you wanted me to stay on the case or not, but I'm happy to.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, then is Ms. Martina. Who's going to update us today?
Ms. Flores. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Flores, we're here for our status hearing. Oh, the continuance. That's what it was. Ms. Campbell, we have very strict time guidelines in these kinds of cases.
Yes, ma'am.
So filing for a continuance is sometimes very difficult, if not impossible, because we are up against a deadline. So, and Ms. Riley is telling me there wasn't really a basis for continuance. So we're going to go ahead and proceed today because we need to because of our
Okay.
time deadlines. All right. So my apologies now, Ms. Flores, if you want to give us an update where we are on service plans.
Yes, ma'am. For as far as the family plan goes, Kristen has, I have given her family plan. She has signed her family plan of service. She has everything. She has the phone numbers. She has everything that she needs to call. I have also wrote on there everything that we have sent referrals for. The provider just needs to contact her to schedule an appointment. But I think, as far as Kristen, she calls me regularly. I think everything is set up. As far as my end goes, we have everything for her scheduled and ready to go.
All right. What about Mr. Johnson?
Tommy Johnson, I did call him this morning if he had the link. I did send it to him. I asked him if he could jump on. As far as his family plan goes, he's kind of hard to get a hold of. So he has not signed his family plan yet. We have gone over what is going to be on it, but he has not signed it.
But that was filed with the court, right, Ms. Flores?
Yes, sir, it was.
And both of those were filed with the court, Your Honor. Mom did sign hers on the 23rd, and that was filed on the same day. Dad's was filed on January 16th.
Okay. Right. All right, Ms. Flores, anything else to report today?
No, ma'am. Tremea's doing great. She's doing really well. She's up to date on her medical, her dental. She's up to date on everything. So she's doing great at her caregiver's home.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Riley.
Judge, I will be honest, I have not been able to have a substantive conversation with my client because we ended with what I've already described to the court. So I'm really not, I mean, I know that we've talked to her. I know that her service plan is signed, and I'm not aware of any issues, but I really have not had a substantive conversation.
Okay. Ms. Campbell,
Yes, ma'am.
you've gone over your service plan, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you signed that?
Yes, ma'am. And I've already started
Okay.
most of it.
It's your intent to work services?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, very good. Do you have any questions about it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, Tremaya is placed in a fictive kin placement. She's doing great there. Placement is very supportive and hopeful for mom and Tremaya. We've got a few concerns. It is very confusing to Tremaya at visits when mom tells her, "You're coming home. I've bought you all these presents. We're going to move." She keeps thinking she's going home anytime. And reunification is absolutely the goal. And that's where we all hope that this ends up. But telling her on a regular basis in those visits that she's going home and making it sound like it's any moment is really hard on her. The other thing is because there was a pre-existing relationship between placement and mom, it may feel a little bit different from a regular placement, but I would ask that mom not provide placement's contact information to extended family and other friends. That's been pretty hard on placement.
Okay, so Ms. Campbell, we
Yes.
want the child to continue to be able to be placed where the child is.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you got to understand that individual or individuals, they have a life too, and they have other responsibilities and they have other commitments and to their time. So you can't just, inundate them with people dropping by or making phone calls or or anything like that. So, you know, we want to be respectful of that because we don't want to lose them as placement.
Yes, ma'am.
And if it gets to be too much for them, you know, they can just pick up the phone and say, we can't do this anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
So, all right, as far as telling the child about when she's going to come home, you know, I want you to look at it this way. You telling the child anything right now is, you might as well just tell the child an outright lie.
Yes,
Which I
ma'am.
certainly don't recommend you doing, because there's one and only one individual who decides where that child goes and when. And you
Yes,
know who
ma'am.
that is?
Yes.
That's me.
You. Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
And all these other people can make recommendations to me, and they try to give me the information that I need to make those decisions. You know,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just don't shoot from the hip making those decisions. I listen to what everybody's telling me, and I want to consider everybody's circumstances. But the bottom line is, when that child goes home, and we want her to go home to you, that's going to be my decision. So
Yes, ma'am.
anything you tell her about that is just, I mean, you're just making it up, and it's just
Yes.
not fair to her.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I know it's hard when children ask you things, you know, when do I get to come home, Mom? The better answer is, Mom has some things she has to do. So I need the time to do those things. You're here, you're in a safe place. I'm going to continue to visit with you. I'll see you every week, you know, and at some point, Ms. Campbell, as you start getting these services worked and we're making progress, you know, we're going to increase that visitation time. And,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're really very fortunate that the child is placed with, you know, someone that you have that kind of relationship with, because that will make it much easier down the road for us to increase your visitation.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
So just don't make her promises that you can't keep, because it's
Yes,
really
ma'am.
hard on kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then. Let me talk to you real quick about the service plan, Ms. Campbell. I'm going to make that service plan an order of the court today. So it's
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
become part of today's court order. And like any court order, I expect you to abide by it. So it's very, very important you work the services that are on that plan.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you have difficulty with any of it, you need to reach out to your permanency specialist, Ms. Flores, or to your attorney. And you know, it's really important you go drug test when they ask you to go drug test. Failure to appear is deemed a positive result.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
you know, if you've got a legitimate problem about going to drug tests that day because you're at work or you're sick, or, I mean, if there's some valid reason for it, you know, we'll work with you.
Yes, ma'am.
But failure to work your services can result in the child not going home to you. And
Yes.
worst case scenario, it can result in termination of your parental rights.
Yes, ma'am.
No one wants to go down that road. Trust me, that's not what we want. So we want her home with you. We want her in a safe environment, and we want to make sure we give you the tools to be sure you don't ever find yourself in this position again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, for today, I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator. Find there would be a continuing ongoing danger to return the child home today. I will find that Ms. Campbell is already starting to work or make appointments, getting things going on her service plan. I'm obviously, like I said, making that service plan an order of the court today. And I will see everybody back for our initial permanency hearing on June 3rd of 2025. That's on a 9 o'clock docket. Ms. Campbell, your attorney will make sure you have the link for that, just like today.
Yes, ma'am.
It's on a 9 o'clock docket. It may not, your case may not be called right at 9. It may be set at 9:15 or 9:20 or something, but they'll make sure you know when
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
going to be. Okay. All right, then. I appreciate everybody, and y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you back in June.
Thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Campbell, you're free to go at this time.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
We've got other cases, so that's why these people are staying here.
I thought I had.
I can I can remove you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm waiting for Ms. Archer and Ms. Naranjo. Have you heard anything from either one of them?
I haven't, Judge. Let me check my emails again. I don't remember seeing anything from them.
And Judge, I was assuming Miss Archer would be present because she asked for her client to appear.
Yeah. Maybe they're stuck with something else or.
No, ma'am, I don't have any emails from them on it.
All right, here's Ms. Archer. She's logging in. So hopefully we'll get Ms. Naranjo here pretty quick. We're here today for a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. And I'm recording to the Zoom cloud. So if anybody needs a copy, let me know. We'll make it available. All right, let's go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Nerti Angrani is my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Natalie Archer for the mother, Daniel Jones, and we are both present and ready.
Kenner Naranjo on behalf of the father, Mr. Martinez, we are present and ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Leonardo.
All right, thank you. Okay, I've reviewed the report, but let's go ahead and have Ms. Angrani update us if there's anything new.
Good morning, everyone. So I think I wrote everything in the court report, Judge.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Angrani. Do we know
Yes.
what mom is appearing
Yes,
from Potter County Jail this morning? Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, she was in Scurry County.
Yeah.
Is that charge resolved?
I have not met with Miss Daniel Jones. But I plan to come today to visit her at Potter County, so I haven't got an update from her yet, Judge.
Okay, let me just ask Ms. Jones
Yes.
or
Yes,
Ms. Archer. Ms. Archer, do you know, did she resolve whatever charge she had in Scurry County and did Potter have a hold on her or what's the situation?
I know that she was, well, I guess we can ask her. I don't want to tell you wrong.
Yes, I was just over there because it was overpopulated over here. So they moved me back over here.
Okay, all right. You were just being held there. Okay.
Yeah, I was just being housed over there.
All right, I had in notes or in the court report that maybe your case was going to go to trial on January 31st. So I assume that did not happen.
My case?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I went to court already.
Okay, can you tell me what came of that? I mean, are you still pending trial or did you?
No,
plead, or?
I went to pull the TDC because I signed for 4 years TDC.
Okay. So you're just waiting until they transfer you into TDC?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And then Ms. Ungrani, anything new with respect to the father?
So I received Jennings Counseling sent me certification of completion for Mr. Martinez. The recommendation was Mr. Martinez remains drug-free. If he remains drug-free, then he begin reunification. And then I receive completion of a certificate of completion from Padre parenting class on January 22nd. He completed the drug screen education program. It's just, Judge, I haven't received the confirmation that Mr. Martinez about her AA meetings and the 12-step program. I have not received confirmation for that. That's the only two things that I have not received.
All right, so he's continuing to work services and cooperate and is in compliance with his service plan.
Yes, ma'am.
What are we really concerned about now? Are we just really trying to work on stability and?
Yes, ma'am. He got he's employed right now. He just started a new job. He submitted 3 pay stub already to me, and he's waiting for another new pay stub that he's going to send it to me probably this Friday.
Okay.
And also he doesn't have his own apartment. He told me that he's going to look for an apartment, but also I just spoke with him that regarding the mom's residence that he's currently stay at, and try to get support from his mom if he wanted to stay at his mom's place, that he's going to pay rent. So I have not talked to his mother yet about that. So, and his last drug screen on January 8th is negative. He's due also for another UA this month for February.
Okay.
He's judge.
All right. All right. Anything else from St. Francis?
No, but so
No, Judge.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Archer, anything today?
Well, I wanted to make sure that the court knew that while mom was in Potter, she did do some online parenting classes and some drug classes. So she's trying to do what she could. She also sent the child a Christmas card that I believe the dad said he didn't get it. But she really is trying to do all she can to have what little contact she can while she's incarcerated.
All right. Ms. Naranjo?
Your Honor, Mr. Martinez, other than the 2 services Ms. Sangrani has talked about, has completed the majority of his services. As I understand it, he's been consistently negative on his UAs, I think for the past 3, and his most recent hair follicle was only positive for marijuana at a pretty low level. At this point, we're requesting to try to increase his visitation to 2 hours twice a week with the hope that we can look at reunification before the final.
All right, Ms. Sangrani, what's St. Francis's position about that?
Yes, I actually already increased to 2 hours, but it's only once a week. Yeah.
Is the child placed here?
Yes, in Amarillo foster home.
Okay. What day are we doing visits?
It's a Monday from, is it 9 to 11? Yeah, Monday from 9 to 11.
Okay. Any possibility that we could work in another hour somewhere during the week?
Yes, I would like to ask Mr. Martinez when is his free time, during the week, if he can, give me the date.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, can you unmute for us?
Yes, ma'am. I'm off Mondays and Tuesdays, and I'm available after 3 during the week when I get off of work.
Okay.
Okay, so what, Mr. Martinez, what we'll do is she'll have to, of course, talk with placement and make sure that we can get all that coordinated. So, I'm fine with him having, let's say, another hour sometime during the week. Child is very young. So, and if, I'll let you all discuss it, but if you want to divide that up to like an hour and a half each time, I'm fine with that too. I think when you're talking about an infant, 1-year-old, I think the more frequent contact is probably more important than the length or duration of it. So we'll go to 3 hours a week, and then let's just see what's the best way to divide that up.
Okay.
All right. And Ms. Naranjo, did you have anything further?
No, Judge.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, I may be wrong in this, but I had thought that Leonardo was placed with Danielle's parents here in town, not a foster home. But I know there are lots of people that placements have to talk with. When I showed up for our scheduled visit to see Leonardo. They were not there and they have not returned my calls. So the reports that I've gotten are good, but I haven't gotten to see him recently. I do think in terms of dad, he's with him doing what he should. I think more increased contact is great, so that he can work on that bonding. And I don't know anything about his mom and that situation, but if she's appropriate, from my perspective, I don't necessarily think he would have to move out of her house. If she's appropriate and is willing for him to stay, it just seems like more hands on deck when we get towards a reunification. But I don't know a lot about that situation.
Yeah, sounds like we need to kind of visit that situation and make sure she's willing and under what the arrangement would be. And, Mr. Martinez, if she's willing for you to live there and for the child to be placed there at some point, I think that's great because, Leonardo is young and it takes a lot of time and it's good to have a backup plan.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I think you just need to discuss that with your mom and Ms. Ongranny can visit with her so that she knows what St. Francis and the department expect and all of that. So
Yes.
let me just clarify, is the child placed with maternal grandmother?
Maternal brother and sister-in-law.
Okay.
Yes, it's kinship placement.
Okay, mom's brother and sister-in-law.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Martinez, do you know these people?
I mean, I don't know them. I've never actually met them, but
Okay.
I know that that's her brother.
Okay.
That's all I really know.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I guess between now and our next hearing, which is set for the final, but it would be very helpful to know about paternal grandmother's role in all this.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and I'll continue child's current placement. I'd find a continuing danger to return child home today, but that Mr. Martinez is in compliance with his family plan of service. I'd find that Ms. Jones is in partial compliance. She's obviously done some things, what she can do. And Ms. Jones, if you are transferred anytime soon, you may find that there's some more things you could do at TDC than what's available to you in the county. I encourage you to do those things. I understand you've taken that plea. But right now we're headed in a good direction in the case where we've got a parent that we hopefully can return the child home to. And then when you're done with your sentence, then, you could resume your parenting role. So I encourage you to look into what's available to you and make sure you send that information to your attorney as we work our way to the end of the case. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll increase father's visits to 3 hours a week, and that can be divided however y'all want to work it out. And like I said, we will be back. Our next hearing is set for the final, and that will be April 1st of 2025. That's on a 1:30 docket. So if father gets things wrapped up and we think we've got a situation where we can get the kiddo home and start monitoring, obviously we want to do that in advance of that trial date if we can. All right, then. I appreciate everybody, and I'll see you all back on April 1st.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kendra, any luck reaching your client?
No, Judge.
You have a problem if we move forward on the Langford case?
No.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. We're here for a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming. And I'm recording to the Zoom cloud. If anybody needs a copy, let me know. Okay. We'll go ahead and take your announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Aaron Tyndall is my permanency specialist. We're present and ready.
Kendra Ruff on behalf of the mother, Alexis Lyons. She is not present, probably due to a docket confusion, but I am present ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Carson.
All right, then, Ms. Tyndall, I assume you're going to give us the update this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You go ahead.
Absolutely. Carson's doing wonderful in placement. He's continuing to thrive and grow. He's an absolute doll. There's nothing really to report on Carson other than he is doing really good. Everything's being met, all of his needs, medical, all of that. The parents have continued to slowly make progress. Our biggest thing is we did just have a very recent drug screen, hair follicle and UA. The hair follicle came back extremely high for Mr. Langford. And then there was a positive test for Miss Lyons as well. So we had a goal change as far as the permanency goal for the case from reunification to now unrelated adoption, or fictive and kinship adoption.
All right, so I had a couple questions about the drug screens. So her hair test, what I was looking at was her hair test was significantly lower in December. And then her UAs had been negative since September, but we got a positive on what, hair or UA?
Hair in, I believe, August 22nd. Yeah, so August 22nd was our last positive hair follicle. And that one was significantly high. And then we have had negative UAs since then until December. And it was a whole lot lower than when in August.
Yeah, so the hair test that you got in December, even though it was still positive, it was significantly lower.
Yes.
And UAs were negative. So that would somewhat indicate that she has not been using.
Yes, and it could possibly be due to exposure. I mean, I'm not an expert on that. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because Miss Lyons has been doing her services and has been trying.
Right. Okay. Did she ever get a relapse plan?
I have not received that, and I have not received notice from the Padre program, Brianna Zufeltis, who is over that. I have not received that she has gotten it either.
All right. And are they still living together?
Yes, as of Friday the 31st, when I went and saw them, they were still living together.
You know, I don't know I'm not trying to invade attorney-client privilege, but just Ms. Tyndall, has it been discussed with her that her continuing to live with him could create a problem for her?
Yes, I discussed with them early on when I first received the case. I've discussed this with them when they were still living apart, and I discussed it again with them on Friday. I told Alexis that, she's in a bit better of a situation as far as her services and drug screens, that they did have that option that she could move apart and be apart from Brandon and proceed that way if they would like. They were very emotional, understandably. And so they did not make any decisions that day. Something we are also asking for, Alexis, that we haven't asked before, because she went to rehab, we didn't ask for it, was an OSAR. Since we had the completed rehab, we did not make her do that. And so that is going to be an added service that we would like court ordered, is that OSAR assessment now, since we have had a positive drug screen.
Well, her hair in August, I made a note, was 127,000. And in December then was down to 1951. I'm not convinced that she's using. I'm not convinced that wasn't just some residual I mean, that's a, 100 and whatever I said, 127, almost 28,000 is very high.
Yes.
And I could certainly see that there might be some residual still in her hair in December. And I don't know if we're getting negative UAs on her. I'm not sure about sending her or making her go do another OSAR.
Okay.
I mean, I think she's going to go in there and she's probably going to report, I haven't been using, I haven't used since whatever date, and I went to rehab and I completed it, and they're going to say.
And I can say, we ask it just anytime we have a positive drug screen, in any kind of these cases, we ask for another OSAR when that happens. Now, I can report on Alexis that she has reported to me, she is attending NA. Her probation has been going really well. She has been doing everything for them. So, I mean, she has done other things to address the drug usage. And I agree, it could definitely be residual.
Yeah, residual or exposure, but I she's got a lot of things going on, probation, us, everything. I hate to pile one more thing on her when I'm not convinced at all that this is because of usage. I think she's got some really hard choices to make in that she's a lot further along with us than what he is, but that's just a decision they're going to have to make. I'm looking to see, my big concern here is that our final's coming up at the very first part of April. So we've got 2 months, at least to our initial deadline. I guess we're just going to have to see how things are going for both of them at that point in time, and then decide whether an extension is appropriate or not. Has Mr. Langford done any meaningful drug treatment?
I'm sorry, it cut out for just a second. What was that question, Your Honor?
I said, has Mr. Langford done any kind of meaningful drug treatment?
He has not. When we got the OSAR referred over, we'd had enough clean UA tests that they stated he did not need one. I have sent in a new referral for him. He has not reported going to any meetings. He told me on Friday that he would start going and that there would be another 12-week class that he had previously attended sometime before the case that he would like to do again. And they had both reported that they were going to go take another hair follicle and UA on their own. And we're both just adamant that this one was going to come back as at 0, but I have not seen those reports either.
Ms. Narano, do you know if they've done that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. All right. Well, I think clearly it's appropriate for him to go do another OSAR and see what we need to do. If he wants to do a intensive outpatient program of some kind, I mean, I'm certainly all in favor of that, and it might make a big difference with what happens at the beginning of April. And I suppose I can just order them to both go do another hair test, and that'll be at our expense in case they haven't done it yet. It's been since December that we got those, so we have had a little extra time. What day in December were those?
December 19th.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and order them to both do hair and UA.
Okay.
You can get in touch with him today. I prefer him to go today. I know he's working, or at least at the time of the report, he's working. So if it's not feasible today, then, I'll try to get him in there tomorrow. Okay, Ms. Naranjo, anything else to report?
I was just going to inquire with Ms. Tyndall on the home study on Lease Alliance.
Yes, it has been completed. My supervisor and director are both over approving and denying that, and that's all I can really report on it. I don't have any say in that approval or denial.
And do we know when it was completed?
It was completed fairly early on because it was court ordered, and then they had the time to go over it and deny it or approve it. And that's all I know on it.
So if it was done pretty recently after his court order, it was court order back in October, is there a reason it's taken them 4 months to decide if they're going to approve or deny it?
I think it took them a while to get out there and get the home study completed due to sicknesses in the home and things like that. So it took the home study a bit to get completed, and then they have their time set aside to go through it. Again, I don't have any say or knowledge of that process. That is on my supervisor and director.
Judge, I would just ask that this home study be filed sooner than later. I think the department's had enough time to get this completed.
So let me just make sure I understood. It has gone up the chain now?
Yes, and I believe, let me double check. It should have been completed and filed, from my understanding, back in December. But again, because I don't approve or deny those or have control over that, I can't report on anything as far as the home study goes, other than it has been completed.
I don't see it.
Would Ms. Martinez have any more information on the home study since she's your supervisor?
She is not my personal supervisor. She is just a St. Francis supervisor.
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge on the home study, but I can check with Erin. Erin
I
said
may be totally misremembering, but I thought it had been denied. I thought I saw an email saying it had been denied.
I think it was denied, but it's not been filed.
It has not been filed.
So I guess the problem is that nobody's been able to see it.
I will double check and make sure that it gets filed. Like I said, I believe it was sent to be filed in December, but I will make sure that our compliance department that handles that, I will get confirmation from them on that.
Yeah, because when the attorneys, they don't get to see it unless it gets filed. So, they don't know whether they've got the basis to file a motion for a replacement hearing, for me to take a look at it and make a decision on it. So, yeah, let's just get it filed and that way it'll get circulated.
And I had thought, I may be wrong on this, but I thought that maybe there was another name being circulated as a possible home study.
So, way back, probably about October, November-ish, Mr. Langford was living with his sister here in Amarillo. He had talked about her briefly, that she had maybe been interested, but that was while he was living with her. I asked them again on Friday if that would be a possibility, and he said no, that she did not want to be placement. Now, I did ask that they talk about it and if he would give me her information so I can personally reach out and speak with her and hear that yes or no from her and not Mr. Langford, just to report back an actual yes or no on that.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Michelson is not present today. I think he had to be in court somewhere else. And then Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, Carson's doing amazing. He's in a wonderful placement. I am really concerned about Dad's very, very high hair follicle. Carson was positive himself. He had lots of withdrawal symptoms at the beginning. I really think that with those numbers, his visit should be stopped until it reduces, or I don't know. I just have some real concerns about re-exposing Carson.
Well, legitimate concern. Are parents visiting together?
Yes, they are. They both have 2 hours weekly.
Ms. Zavala,
Yeah, not concerned with Mom.
if I order that he has to mask and glove, will that alleviate the concern?
It definitely helps. I'm just not getting the sense that, we're 2 months from a final and this is a massively high drug test, and but I know they're getting visits. I think Dad especially needs to understand how significant that is, especially with where we are in this case,
Judge, on that, what if we ordered him to drug screen already? If Dad's tests come back still high, haven't dropped any. He's dropped 20,000, but it's still over 100,000 on his drug screens since May, I think. So his hair follicles have not hardly moved in 7 months. If he comes back still high on those, I would ask to stop the visit, Your Honor.
What was his last one?
I think it was 100.
137, 311.
Yeah. Well, so his May of 24, his hair follicle was 161,995. So he has come down 24,000 in 7 months and is still over 100 and still at 137,000. And his amphetamines was 15,000 in December, which is up from his May. His May test was 11,000 and his December test was 15,000.
Okay. All right. If that test comes back and it's over 100,000, we're going to stop the visits. Because that's just indicative that he's continued to use.
And Judge, just to clarify, we're stopping their visits for him, not for Miss Lyons, correct?
Not for her.
Okay.
Not for her. I mean, I just, like I said, she's just got some really hard decisions to make, I think. But, yeah. Because if he's not used at all, he should be way below where he's at. Just, I mean, as her levels,
Yeah.
she's gotten way closer to zero in the same amount of time. So.
And Jerry, on that note also, if his come back still at that level, I know we've got him ordered to do or he's supposed to go do another OSAR. I'd ask he does at least an order to do an intensive outpatient at that time. Depending on what we do with mom, if we have to go into extension, it may be that he has time to do that. But if he hasn't done any significant treatment for drugs and his levels are still at this point or this high, I'd ask that he be ordered to do some sort of rehab.
I would order I mean, he apparently was talking about some kind of program. I would order the intensive outpatient. My understanding is he's got a stable job. I really don't want to derail that by ordering him to, inpatient.
Yes, ma'am.
If he wasn't working, that's one thing, but is he still working, Ms. Tyndall?
Yes, Your Honor, he still is.
Okay. So I'd want to see something, some move towards, an intensive outpatient program of some kind. Something he can do around his work schedule. I mean, in all fairness, I really don't want to derail that. Is mom working?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Okay, so gonna order them to do a hair in the UA today or certainly by the end of the day tomorrow, if they're working today or whatever, it's not much notice to get there by 4 today. I'll find a continuing danger to return the child home today. Mom is in compliance, father is not. And we're gonna say if father's hair test is greater than the 100,000 mark, I'm still thinking about that. Because even that is high enough, I'm afraid, about exposure. What was his last UA, Ms. Tyndall?
His last UA was December 19th and it was negative.
All right, let's go with this. If his hair test is greater than 100,000 and of course, if we have a positive UA, then obviously that's a big problem at this point. So if it's greater than 100,000, I'm going to stop the visits until that comes down significantly for the health and safety of the child. His visits, not hers, but stop his visits. I don't know, it's just difficult because he had that negative UA, so if if his UA is negative again, when we send him this time, that'll be two that have been negative. All right. If his hair test is greater than 100,000, I'm going to stop his visits until he gives us at least two more clean UAs. If we get two more clean UAs, then, we'll allow his visits to resume. Is that totally confusing?
I got
Sorry.
it, Judge.
I know I've waffled, but
I get it.
this is
So if he's on UA and hair follicle at least by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Over 100,000 on the hair follicle, stop visits until he gives two clean UAs, or if he's positive on the UA, stop visits.
Yeah. And if he shows up and gives a negative UA, this first one, that'll count.
Okay.
That'll count towards two, but yeah. Okay. All right. Then I'll see everybody back for our scheduled final on April 3rd of 2025. That's on a 1:30 docket. We'll just kind of see where we're at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Thanks for your patience with me. I'm just, this is just, the dynamics of this are difficult with them being together. All right. Thanks. Everybody have a good day. I guess, Ms. Ronho, you're still with us for a while.
Yes, I'm with you for one more hearing. I do have to leave, but I will enter on my phone. I do have to take off for another court hearing, but I will be right back.
Sure, no problem. I'll get everybody else logged in.
Thank you.
Wrote down all three hearings for review, and we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and I'm recording to the Zoom cloud. I don't have a reporter today, so if you need a copy, let us know. Okay. I will just go ahead and announce Mr. Michelson is not going to be present today. He had to be elsewhere, but he had been in contact with us. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Christina Hunter is my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent Miss Johns. I expected her to be here this morning. We've been in contact with her today. So hopefully she's in the waiting room shortly if she's not there already.
Jeff Hill on behalf of Christopher Frost Sr. Judge, he's in TDCJ, obviously won't be here.
Kendra,
Sorry,
Kendra.
Stacey.
No,
Kendra on behalf of Javier Rivera. I've had no contact with Mr. Rivera.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Naraya, Christopher, and Zion.
Okay. Let's see. Ms. Hunter, you going to give us an update?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good morning, first and foremost. So as of right now, the kids are doing well. Unfortunately, they are not placed together. Christopher was placed in the same facility as Naraya, but he got discharged, unfortunately, due to his behaviors. He is currently in a TFC home that is over in Crest, so he is still able to come to visitations weekly with both his siblings as well as his mother. All the siblings have the ability to contact each other as well, like via phone. They are supervised because, as siblings do, they like to aggravate each other. So outside of that, though, the kids are doing well. There's not been any additional issues in regards to behaviors or anything outside of the normality that we've had with them since they came into care. So that's also promising. Zion has been able to stabilize a little bit since she has been placed in her current foster home. Luckily enough, she has not had to be able to move anymore, and she's doing really well there and starting to thrive as well. As far as mom is concerned, I did go over her new family plan of service with her in December. So she's had a copy of it since then. On that family plan, We talked about like stabilizing in regards to housing, employment. We discussed domestic violence classes as well as a psychosocial therapy and a TPC assessment that still needed to be completed. Ms. Johns did let me know that currently she is in between housing. She's been staying over at Bay City at night, and she is working on trying to get herself a place. She is struggling with finding employment, but her and I did speak with that in regards to that as well. And I gave her some community resources to reach out to hopefully aid in that as well.
Okay, she is logged in with us now. All right, and any progress on services?
Unfortunately, as of right now, no, ma'am. There's not been much progress. She did, the prior worker that was on this case had put waive on her family plan. So she did complete that and did get notified that she does not qualify for the waive program. And that's the reason why I substituted it for the DV classes, because she does have a history of domestic violence. So, but as the victim, not the aggressor. So that's why that was substituted in.
Okay. All right. Has she completed any services?
She did complete the psychological evaluation that was requested by the previous worker. She is completing drug screens whenever I ask her to go. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, but she's gone consistently. Her and I've got a system worked out now, so that way there's not any further issues with that.
Okay. And what about any of the fathers? Have we had any progress or anything?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
How about with any of the fathers? We had any progress?
I've had Mr. Rivera will text me, but he will not call me. He will not answer my phone calls, and he will not give me a valid address for him. He will not meet with me either. But I've had text communication with him. As far as the other two fathers, as Mr. Hill stated, Mr. Frost is currently incarcerated. I'm still working on trying to get an LPS worker to be able to go out to see him. I'm having a lot of issues with the other regions that assign those, but I'm still working on trying to get that worked out as well. And then Mr. Forkpaw, I've not been able to locate him. I know Ms. Johns mentioned that he had reached out to her via Facebook, but outside of that, she doesn't have any contact information for him either. It is still believed that he is out of state, though.
Do we have any idea where we think he is?
I believe he's over in Utah. I ran an accurate on him last month, and it's the same address that we have for him is the same address that's pulling. But when letters have been sent, there's been no response.
Can I say something? I know where he's located, but he's not in the States. They deported him back to Liberia, Africa, where he was born and raised.
When did that occur? Do you know?
It was like 3 years ago. So he's been over there.
You don't think he's back in this country?
Oh, they told him he had to, like he told me he had to wait like 10 years before he can come back over here.
Have you had any communication or anything that would indicate to you that he's in Liberia?
Yes, he's FaceTime me, and where he's like, you can tell that it's not the United States and stuff. And then he has sent me pictures and stuff like that, but he's not here in the United States. And then his connection, I can sometimes when he try to call me, his connection is just so bad to where he can't respond most of the time. But when he does, he tells me and let me know that yeah, the connection where he's at is messed up. They don't have no lights or anything. Just a whole lot of stuff that's going on over there on that part of the on Earth, on the other side on the continent where he's at.
And just so I'm sure, which dad are we talking about again?
Mr. Forkpa.
Forkpa, okay. That's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
So you have some kind of contact phone number for him?
I don't have no phone number, no address. He's been talking to me through Messenger. But I can get, like, if like I told Miss Christina, I would get try to see if I can get a phone number and stuff from him today and some type of address or something like that to where I can give it to her so y'all can have for him.
Yeah, he has an attorney who I'm sure would very much like to talk with him, you know.
Okay. Well, I can try to get that information for y'all today.
That would be really, really helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ms. Jones. Okay.
And Miss Hunter, you're getting us an inability to locate on Javier?
Yes.
Okay. We need to get that as soon as we can so we can get that filed to try to publish on him.
Yes, sir. I'll have it to you by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you. And are you needing mom to drug screen for us today?
Yes.
Okay. Just a UA, or do you need hair follicle on mom? Just UAs?
I believe it's just UAs.
Okay. Your Honor, we'd ask for that today, that mom do a UA for us on these 3 cases today.
That's fine. I'll go up there and get it.
Okay, then, Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. When it comes to services completed, I know that you may have been assigned to this case kind of halfway through, but Ms. Johns has done some parenting classes as well. Is that right?
Yes.
And she's regularly attending her visitations. Is that right?
Not completely true. No.
Oh, okay. Is she attending her visitations?
So her attendance to visitation has been a bit sporadic. Since Christopher has been placed in CRES, there's not always a guarantee that we can get Christopher transported down here. Whenever Christopher has not been able to attend, Ms. Johns calls off her visit for all 3 of the children.
Okay. Has she explained that why she does that or no?
She stated that if she's not able to see all 3 of the children, she doesn't want to attend because she doesn't feel that it's fair to Chris.
Okay. And has she done an OSAR for the department?
Yes, she completed an OSAR at the very beginning.
Okay. And the recommendation for that was a Padre program. Is that right?
Yes. But unfortunately she did not qualify for the Padre program because of the age of her children. So it's an obsolete thing at that point. So, but she's completed the parenting classes as you stated.
Okay. And when it comes to her RBT class, has she at least got that scheduled?
So she is not, I believe, on the official schedule for it, but she has been in contact with them. I think she's planning on actually completing it this month is what she spoke to me about.
Okay. And so from her previous service plan to the service plan that was created in December, what changes are there to the service plan compared to the old one?
I added a TPC assessment to help with her mental health. She mentioned to me that she had been struggling with depression and anxiety quite a bit. I also added a psychosocial and to her service plan. That's just a one and done that she can complete with her therapist. She's set up to do therapy with Dolores Hinders.
Okay, so all of her services aren't completed, but would it be fair to say that she's trying to engage in them?
Honestly, I don't feel like I can make a fair judgment to that as of right now. When I gave her service plan back in December, she started making phone calls and was doing pretty well, but it's trickled off. I know Ms. Johns is aware that, we can't help with transportation, but that seems to be a big hindrance for her, but I've not received any requests for aid for transportation for any of her services either. So it's a hit or miss at this point.
Okay, so if she needs transportation, she needs to contact y'all and request it to see if it's available.
Yes, as early as she possibly knows that she needs aid.
Okay, all right, thank you. I don't have anything else.
Okay, Ms. Naranjo?
Miss Hunter, when you stated you had some contact with Mr. Rivera, have you passed him along my contact information?
Yes, ma'am, I have. I let him know that you were trying to reach him as well.
Could you reach out to him again and encourage him to get in contact with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hill?
Ms. Hunter, when was the last time anybody from St. Francis had any contact with Mr. Frost? Do you know?
I've sent letters out, but I've gotten no responses. So, and I know the prior worker also said she never got responses from him either.
Okay. And one small thing, and I realize there's probably only not very many documents left, but the last permanency report that was filed in this case, I didn't receive it. I wasn't, I didn't get my notification that had been filed. Could you just make sure my name is added to your email list for any filings?
Yes, sir. I don't handle the e-filings directly, but I'll make sure that our compliance department is aware, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I have no further questions, Judge.
And Judge, on that note that Mr. Hill just mentioned about the filing service plans, Ms. Kincaid had emailed about it. She had not received them either. We went back and looked. I think when these cases got severed out from the case that was transferred into us, they all got severed out, and I don't think parents' attorneys got added into that, the new case files when they were severed in e-file. So we'll go back and see if we can, or I think Mr. Hill and them, I think they can add themselves to the e-file maybe. I've never had to go back in and do that, but I think that's what happened is when they got severed out, they did not get added back into the e-file system then with the new case numbers.
Okay.
But we'll look into that. We just found out about that yesterday.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, although I hate that the three kids are separated from each other, they actually seem to be in pretty perfect placements for respectively. I've been out to visit all of them in their different placements. And I do feel like there's a really good chance of success where they are. I know that in the past, the kids have struggled whenever visits have been canceled at the last minute. They all are really liking the new format where they meet at the home and at the visitation home, and Miss Johns makes dinner. I think that's a big hit with the kids, and is really important to them. I had not heard there had been a problem transporting Christopher. In fact, placement talked about how kind of helpful the whole format of the visit was, that he'd go and he'd get dinner and he'd visit. And then that hour drive back actually really helps to calm him down. He's ready to go to bed when he gets back. It seems in terms of their schedule and to be working really well. But I do know from talking to all of the kids that consistent contact with mom is really important to them. And I think somebody requested chicken for the next visit. I don't know, but those meals are nice as well. But I feel really good about all of the different placements for them.
So Ms. Hunter, what kind of reasons have we had where Christopher couldn't get here? I know we've had some bad weather in the last several weeks, and I get that. I understand that certainly can impact whether or not we get placement and a child out on the road.
So initially, whenever Christopher got placed over there at the end of December, it's I'm sure, as you know, how our transportation system works, like the earlier we can get the transport request in, the better chances that we have that there is a transporter available to bring him. One of the agreements that the placement came to with our placement team in order for him to be placed where he is at is that they will not aid with transporting him to visits. So that solely falls on the responsibility of St. Francis. Since the placement is more solidified now and we have an FSW that is actively working on it, she's putting those requests in advance to hopefully ensure that those are available. He's only missed, I think, 2 or 3 visits is the amount, but we've still always offered the visits to occur because the girls are here local and we want them to be able to see Miss Johns as well.
Okay. Well, we just do the best we can do with it.
And so Ms. Hunter, just so I'm clear, he was placed at December 27th.
It was towards the end of December. Yes. I don't recall the specific date off the top of my head.
So there's been 5, 6 visits.
I believe so.
He's had to miss 2 or 3 of those.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay, then, we're going to order Ms. Johns to go get a UA for us today before 4 p.m. I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's placements. Find there would be a continuing danger to return the children home today. I'm going to find moms in partial compliance. And Ms. Johns, that has to do more with how much time has gone by. I feel like you should be further along with your services
Oh,
but I recognize that you're trying to get some of them done at this point. So we need to just stay on that path, okay?
yes, ma'am. Can I say something?
Yeah, hang on just a minute, okay?
Okay.
All right. We will be back for our final on April 15th of 2025, and that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Ms. John, so you know, I've caught it a couple of times. No smoking while you're in court.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't know.
Okay.
That's why I put it out. I'm sorry.
That's just so you know for the future.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is it that you wanted to say?
Okay, well, what Christina was saying about the visits or whatever, when I missed the 2-3 visits, well, she has to understand. I'm used to seeing all my kids together. I can't just go see 2 kids and not see the other, my son. After they told me he got put in the pavilion and I didn't know about that situation until after the fact that it happened. And then on top of that, that's why I have my depression is acting the way it's acting because of that situation. And don't get me wrong, I love my kids. I love when I go see my kids. I do. But I can't just see 2 of my daughters. And it's not fair to my son not being able to see his sisters. And then it's not fair to my daughters also not being able to see their brother. And it's not fair to me because I can't see all 3 of my kids. And that's what hurts me the most. And then one visit I couldn't make because it was real bad snow outside. And that's the reason why I canceled that visit, because it hurts so much that I can't see none of my kids all together when I'm used to seeing them together. This is the first time I had to go through this. So she doesn't understand that when she say little stuff, and then she try to guilt trip me when it comes down to my kids about certain stuff, and it makes me mad because please don't bring my kids up. I'm trying the hardest I can. Like I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm trying so hard, but all this depression and not being able to move forward with getting a job and trying to keep my mind clear from everything that's going on, especially this situation with my kids, and then all the drug tests that I have to do every 2 weeks or whatever. It messes with my brain. And yes, I didn't already went and did my domestic violence intake today. I already did that, got that out the way. So Thursday I will be on the classes. And then on top of that, I already did TPC. I'm waiting for them to call me back. So with that being said, I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm not eating. I'm not sleeping. It's just so much going on because I don't want to lose my kids. I'm having to go to the shelter, back and forth from the shelter, 5:30 at night. I have to be there. 5 o'clock, we get woke up, and 5:30, I have to be gone from there. So it's hard. And I'm not.
And Ms. Johns, I understand that. And I'm going to just take a deep breath. All of these people are here to try to help you, you know, and this is, you're just going to have to take this all one day at a time. But let me just, you know, when you've said it's, you know, about the visits, let's, you know, you kept saying this wasn't fair and that wasn't fair. And I'm just going to remind you, and I don't mean this, I'm not saying this to be mean or ugly, but it is not fair to your children at all that they are in this position.
It's not. It's not.
So we are all working really hard to try to get you in a position where this won't happen again. But we've got to get you in a stable position so that you can take care of these children. So you take advantage of what they're offering you and trying to work with you. You know, if you haven't followed up with TPC, you need to do that. You need to do that.
And then on top of that, like I do have transportation. My aunt takes me to all the places that I need to go, like to my visits and everything. But in this case, she's 76 years old. So she's been her, and my papa also stays over there. He does dialysis from Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So he be sick. They both get sick. They just got rid of COVID just a while, like yesterday, day before yesterday. I had gotten sick with the food poisoning. So I told her, I was like, well, when I do have a ride, it's guaranteed always. But I cannot stop how the weather is, or if they get sick on the day that I'm supposed to do something, that's not my fault. I can't hurry up and contact you for a ride because I had a ride, and it's hard for me. Like now that better, I don't have to worry about it. But they end up getting sick because of their age and they're old. So with that being said, I do have guaranteed rides from wherever I need to go when it comes down to my kids. But I can't say, oh, well, I got a ride, but then when the day comes, one of them end up getting sick or my auntie end up getting sick because she's the one who drives. What am I supposed to do?
Well, all you can do, which is call your permanency specialist and tell her. And then if they can somehow figure out a way to get you there, they will. But
yeah,
you know, a life, Ms. Jones, life happens to all of us. I mean, the weather happens to all of us. And we, you know, I don't like putting kids out on the road when we've got bad weather. I mean, it's just,
and that's
it's not a good idea. But, you know, if it was a situation where you could still visit with your girls, I think you should do that. You know, I mean, I guess I don't really understand the rationale there. I would think there may be times because of weather or other reasons that we can't get Christopher here because he is placed further away. But I would think you would want to still see your other kids. So I mean, I can't tell you how to feel about that. I'm just telling you, I would think you would want to see him no matter what. So
no, I did. I tried to, like the day when it snowed here in Amarillo real bad, I had to cancel that visit because the roads were just too bad for me to get there. And I wasn't trying to have a wreck going there to see my kids, which was because of the weather.
Perfectly understandable. That's perfectly understandable.
I did let them know that what was going on and what happened and why I couldn't make it. And then it's hard when it's time, when I have to get in touch with Christina, it's hard to get in touch with her because she never answers her phone. And I have to send multiple text messages and I still don't get through until she has, till she can also contact me. And it'd be like days after I tried to get in contact with her. So,
okay, Ms. Johns, let me ask you, have you started your counseling?
No, I called her. It's like we playing the tag. I call her, leave a voicemail, send a text message just so she'll know. And then when she calls back, I end up doing something for another class that I have to do for y'all. And I end up missing that phone call. But whenever I see it, I end up calling her back. I don't get no answer. I understand she's her own boss, her own secretary, her own everything. So I know it's hard to get in contact with her. And I called and made an appointment yesterday. So I'm just waiting for her to call me back or send me a text message to let me know what's going on so I can get in there.
And who is that with?
Dolores.
Okay. Well, I hope that you all can get together, Ms. Hunter, if you can help with that at all. I really would like to see Ms. Jones get started with a counselor absolutely as soon as possible.
Yes, Your Honor. I have been in consistent communication with Dolores, and she says she has not heard from Kadisha, but I'll be sure to make sure that they're both able to reach out to each other.
All right. Okay, then, just Ms. Johnson, just keep working your services. All right, then.
Judge, real quick, we're getting close to this final on this one. We either need to mediate it or I need to meet with all the attorneys on this if we need to set a mediation prior to this final. I'm not sure it's going to happen at the end of this one. Or if we just need to do kind of a settlement conference before we pay to a mediator to see where we're fixing to go and what we're going to be asking for.
So
I'm good asking for a mediation if everybody thinks it would help right now.
Anybody got any?
I mean, I don't think that I'm not opposed to mediation. You know, if there are any offers that the department wants to send out before that and we can discuss, then that would be fine. I'm always open to that.
Well, it's my standing policy that y'all mediate, so I guess I'll fall back on that. So
yeah, I'm gonna talk to Ms. Hunter. We're gonna discuss this one and see, and then I'll reach out to Ms. Kincaid. I think most any discussions, just due to the circumstances of the dads, I think most of the discussion will be with Ms. Kincaid anyway. So I'll keep in touch with her. And if we need a mediator appointed, we'll reach out, Your Honor.
okay. All right, then I'll see everybody back then for the final April 15th of 2025, 9 o'clock docket.
Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all very much.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
Mr. Barfield, Are you expecting your client? Okay, I think that's.
We sent notification to him, so hopefully he signs on.
Okay, I'll watch for him.
Judge, I spoke to him just before this hearing, and he's at work and will not be able to attend, but he is aware of the hearing.
Okay.
And he's aware that he is represented by Mr. Barfield.
Okay, that's no problem. I'm always fine if parents are working. We're here on our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record this afternoon. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with Permanency Specialist Timothy Kovo, and we are ready, Your Honor. He's from St. Francis Ministries, I forgot to say.
Kristen McDaniel on behalf of Leah Sindelair, the mother. We are present and ready, Your Honor.
Brooks Barfield, in regards to representation of the father, Scott Kabbalah. There's been announcements off the record that he is at work and will not be attending the hearing, but we are ready to proceed.
Tracy Riley, and I'm appearing for Riley, the child.
And
Monica, I'm sorry.
Nope,
Monica Vivas with Great Plains Casa for Kids.
All right, thank y'all. Okay, then who's going to give us the update today? Mr. Koval?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The update that I have is that Riley is doing very well in her placement. She's placed in Montgomery County with her great aunt and uncle. She's doing well in school and has made a good adjustment. She's a very easygoing kid with really no negative behaviors to speak of. We're working with mom, Leah Sindelair. She is already starting to work her services, which we'll go into the services here in a moment, but we've already got authorizations, and the ones that we have given to her, she's already jumping on and getting off to a good start there. And with the dad, I have services for him, but we don't have a signed family plan because I didn't make contact with him successfully until today. So that remains to be worked on, the relationship with Mr. Kubala.
All right, but the service plan's been created for him, correct?
A service plan has been created. It has been filed with the court.
Okay.
It just has not been signed by Mr. Kubala or gone over with him.
Okay. All right, sounds like we're mostly off to a good start then. Okay. Ms. McDaniel? Anything to report today, or questions or concerns?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think everything's off to a good start, and my client's trying to get started on everything.
Okay. All right. Ms. Sindelair, do you have any kind of questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're off to a good start, so I appreciate it. Just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Mr. Barfield?
I don't really have anything today, as it's a status and we kind of know where dad is. I'd just say if anybody has any problems getting my client to sign, let me know and see if I can light a fire.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the department would ask that the court make the service plans in order of the court today.
Sure. Okay. And then Ms. Riley?
Nothing, Judge. Riley's placement's going very well. I think she's very happy there, and things with her aunt are going well. So I think it's a good place for her to be in, and I think she's doing very well.
Okay. Let me just ask, and then I'll get to CASA, but how are we doing visitation right now?
Judge, we did just file a visitation plan for each parent shortly before this hearing. Mom has virtual visits on Fridays at 8 p.m. with Riley, and those are going well, and she's attending them. There haven't been any no-shows. They don't necessarily go for an hour, but she has an hour allotted. Mr. Kubala, Mr. Kubala, we did a visitation plan that is 1 hour per week, but still a lot to be determined there since we haven't really been able to talk to him and get over the finer details of that. I think it's been based on what what he said to me, it's been about 6 years since he's even seen Riley. So he has not been in her life for quite some time. And that's not to say that he's not interested in that, but it has been 6 years. So we'll have to talk through that and make sure that that we implement something visitation wise that is good for Riley. And, you know, she's been through some disruption recently, and that would be a big thing, you know, to resume with a parent.
Judge,
But we'll
for
talk through
whatever
that.
my opinion, sorry, I'm sorry, but for whatever my opinion is worth on that, I do think that that's going to be sort of a more, I mean, she's very, likes her visits with her mother. And I mean, at least in my conversation, I don't think she's opposed to meet with her dad, but I don't think she has any real memories or any understanding of even who he is. And it may, you know, obviously it may be something that we want to, therapeutic, you know, might be the way to go there so that she sort of understands what's going on. I think she has some bad impressions of him maybe, and him sort of leading them. So that might be something that we need to overcome.
And I don't think that I would necessarily oppose an introduction, because essentially, you know, I mean, he's a stranger, so that would be fine if that's what the court thinks is necessary. From my standpoint, obviously, my client isn't here, but I'm going to tell him that you know, any questions he have, I'll answer. That you know, we need to kind of ease into that based upon. I think that's just pretty basic family law 101 stuff, I guess, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I assume the child has gotten established with a counselor. Is that correct, Mr. Coble?
We actually don't have a counselor as of yet. I'm working with the placement to see if maybe the school counselor can serve in that role, or if we need to do a separate counselor.
Okay. Whichever it may be, you know, I think that, you know, I think we need to approach that with the child first, and then, you know, so that I mean, you know, she's 8. The reality of what all this means may kind of escape her. So, you know, I think it would be appropriate to have a counselor sort of talk with her about that, get her comfortable with the idea of it, and then implement. And I think that should be done therapeutically with a counselor present, at least initially, if Mr. Caballo, you know, is wanting to do that. So we'll see what contact you have with him over the next period of time. But certainly when, you know, if she was that young, she's not going to remember much about him or anything. So I think we just move slowly and at the child's pace, so to speak.
Understood, Judge.
Okay. Let me ask real quick, Ms. Sindelar, and this is kind of a question for you and then also sort of for Mr. Coble, but you know, being an 8-year-old, so if it's a little hard to keep her kind of engaged for a virtual visit for a full hour, would it be better to split and maybe try to have 2 visits a week and make those for 30 minutes each, or for 45 minutes or each, or something like that?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Even our phone calls that I make every night at 8 o'clock, they're still real short because her mind's just like, well, I want to watch TV with the boys, or I want to do this. And it's, Mom, how's your day? How was work? I'm like, how was school? She's like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.
Yeah.
You know, she's just not the type of kid to sit down and talk for more than 10, 15 minutes. You know, and I'm kind of glad about that, because like my aunt's been telling me, after she gets off the phone with me, she misses me. So like when we keep it short, I think it's much easier for her, if that makes sense.
Sure. And since you're having regular phone contact with her, then maybe it's not necessary. And just, you know, I'm just tossing it out there that, you know, maybe we'd be better served to split that time up a little bit. But, you know, I will certainly let you all discuss that. I mean, if you decide at some point it would be better to do twice a week for 30 minutes, or, you know, whatever, then I'm okay with that. She is with family. And often that's a little easier to navigate and get scheduled. So, you know, just, that's okay with me. If that works better, it's fine with me. So then I kind of I'll leave the nitty gritty details up to you all. Okay. All right, then, Casa.
no recommendations. I think she's doing very well at placement, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right. Then let me talk with you, Ms. Sindelar, a little bit about your service plans. So you've been over that service plan. It's been filed with the court. I'm going to make that part of a court order today. And you know, what that means is it's like any court order, I expect you to abide by it. And failure to work those services could mean that Riley doesn't come home. Worst case scenario, it can also mean termination of your parental rights. So, you know, none of us want to go down that road, and it certainly doesn't have the appearance that that's the road we're headed down. But you just have to know those things, and I am required by law to make sure that you understand that.
Yes,
So-
ma'am, I understand that.
So
I've even
service-
started in a
So services are real important, and if you're struggling with getting something scheduled or getting in touch with the provider, you know, reach out to your permanency specialist, your attorney. You let somebody know you're having a difficult time.
yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right. Okay, then.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, I think there was just one mistake in the family plan of service. There was a journey in there. I assume that is just a different child. Maybe it didn't get changed. But
Yes,
besides that,
Ms. McDaniel, I am aware of that, and actually we've gone over that with Ms. Sindelar, and she's aware that that was a mistake on my part. Yes.
just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue Riley's current placement. I'll find that there would be a continuing and ongoing danger to return the child home today. I will find that at least we are on the right track, Ms. Sindelar, and I think you're in compliance with us at this point. Is the department asking or St. Francis asking for any kind of drug testing today? Anything of that nature?
Ms. Sindelar did drug test for me about a week or two ago. Took the results some time to come back in, but I believe it was the 14th of January. And we'll be sending her to test this month, but not necessarily today.
Okay, very good. All right, then. I will see everybody back for our initial permanency hearing, and that's going to be May 14th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Ms. Sindelar, that your case may or may not be called right at 9. It just depends what else we have on the docket that day. So your attorney or your permanency specialist will tell you exactly what the docket says, exactly what time slots you need to log in. So.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to clarify that Mr. Kubala's service plan is also made an order of the court.
Yes,
Okay.
both service plans. Absolutely. Are made in order at the court. I just was addressing her since she's present, so sorry for the confusion. But yes, both service plans are now part of our status hearing order. And it's the same holds true for him, Ms. Sindelar. If he doesn't work his services, there's some pretty serious consequences.
Yeah, and Judge, just so everybody knows, I'm going to send a text message. Well, I found text messaging is very effective. Text message to my client that he needs to get with Mr. Koval and get his service plan signed.
Okay, very good. All right, I appreciate everybody logging in. Thank you all so much. Everybody have a great rest of your afternoon, unless you're stuck with me for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Judge. You too. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Baker.
Yes.
Can I talk to you about a non-related case?
Absolutely. Let me set us up in
Okay.
a breakout room. Let me see. All right, we are here today on our final in both cases. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record this afternoon. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services will present ready, Your Honor.
Brooks Barfield for Mom Tina Martinez, present and ready. She is here.
T.D. Hammonds for Joe Rico. I'm ready to proceed, Judge. I have been unable to locate Mr. Rico.
And Lori Lucille on behalf of the unknown father in the Camden. I'm present and ready to proceed. I've never had any information regarding the unknown father.
Leanne Fouts for the interveners with regard to Elizabeth, Ashley, and Eric Pear, and they're present with us, Judge.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of the children.
Okay, thank you all very much. All right then, Mr. Trout. I know that you all mediated and came to agreement with Ms. Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you want to go ahead and just quickly go over that agreement, and then I'm guessing we're here today because we need some testimony with regard to Mr. Rico and the unknown father.
Correct, Your Honor. And I also have the mediated settlement agreement marked as an exhibit for today.
Great.
Sent out to the parties, so we'll put that into evidence later too.
Okay.
But the agreement is for the department to be named temporary managing conservator. Mom will be named a possessory. Interveners do not have any conservatorship, but they will still remain as the placement for the children. There is as far as possession and access for mom, there will be a step-up plan. You want me to read it in its entirety? It's kind of lengthy, but do you want
No, I don't think you need to if you're going to introduce that and you know, it is an MSA, so
Yes, ma'am.
I will adopt it. And
I will say, as far as the possession, there are 5 different steps of step-up plans and what mom has to do and to get to certain levels. And at the end of that, if everything has been successful, then we will enter back into discussions on some sort of reunification with mom. We just ran out of time on this one, and there were still some things that needed to be done. Mom would not pay medical support or child support at this time. Use the resources for working through the rest of the case. The additional requirements for mom would be, mom has to attend the child's healthcare appointments as long as mom receives at least 14 days prior notice of those appointments. She'll participate in in-home ECI visits through remote access. She'll be informed of each visit through a group text or by the department at least 24 hours beforehand. She needs to complete the application process for the birth certificate for Elizabeth before the end of step 5 in the step-up visitation plan. If she hasn't, and just as a caveat to that, if she hasn't received the birth certificate by step 5, she needs to document and tell us all the completed steps that she has gone through to get that, and if she's just waiting on Austin to get that done for her, because it can be kind of a lengthy process. With the ECI services, since they do quite a bit therapies through that, we would ask, just so mom knows what all is going on and how to work with the children, that once a month, by the 28th of each month, she'll prepare a statement and email it to the worker as to what all is going on with the children and what they're working through. So a synopsis on the therapies that they've been doing.
who's going to prepare that?
Mom.
Okay.
Mom would let us know that she is engaged, and so that we know that she's seeing what's going on with the children.
Okay.
Still has to allow announced and unannounced visits by the department in the home, maintain stable, verifiable employment, provide the department with each of her pay stubs, maintain stable housing and working utilities, maintain her home without safety hazards, correcting any hazards that exist or arise, still submit to random drug screens, may not consume alcohol, mom's still underage for drinking age, not permit any contact between the children and any person the department has not approved, And that will be during her, once she works up to unsupervised visits and that kind of stuff. She needs to attend, I think we got that name written wrong. Camden is ARD meetings. In person, if provided at least 14-day notice on that, and then still comply with the original and any amended plans of service in both of these cases. Let's see. She agrees to be permanently enjoined from permitting any contact between Joe Rico and the children who are subject to the suit. And that is the agreement, John.
All right. Then, with respect to Ms. Martinez, in both cases, Mr. Barfield, is that you and your client's agreement?
It is, Your Honor, and it's my understanding based on statements from Mr. Trout that the MSA would be made a part of the record, or at least the court would look at that because there's a lot more details. But I think that is a good summary, and that is the good synopsis of our agreement.
All right, and Ms. Fouts, you and your client's agreement in the RICO case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hammonds, I know you don't have a dog in the fight.
Judge, I was not asked to sign the agreement simply because Mr. Rico did not attend mediation, but I did participate. I believe that's a good settlement of the issues in the case, but for the fact Mr. Rico is not going to like the way this ends up. But
okay, but you're at least aware of, you were a participant and were aware of the terms of that MSA.
I was, and I will tell the court I was very impressed with Mr. Rompelmeyer's work. He did a good job.
Okay.
And Judge, I'll say I didn't say it, as Mr. Hammonds did state, he was in attendance. Miss Lucero attended by Zoom, but she has an unknown father in there, so she did attend also, but was right outside.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask her the same question. I mean, to the extent that you obviously can't really agree to anything, but you're aware of what the agreement was between the other parties.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, and then Ms. Zavala, in both cases, do you believe that this is in the best interest of your client?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Trout, I assume you're going to offer that exhibit then through some testimony?
Yes, ma'am. Once I'll get through my investigator, and then once Ms. Hunter is on the stand, she was at mediation and signed off, so I'll bring it in through her.
Okay. All right, then you can call your first witness.
Call Courtney Butler, Your Honor, and as an investigator with the department.
Yes, sir.
And how did the department become involved in this case? And before you start with your answer, you heard the agreement with Mom?
Yes, sir.
So I know Mom's name will come up during some of this, but we'll mainly focus on the dads at this time, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. How did the department become involved in the case with these 3 children?
The department received a report in regards to neglectful supervision on August 10th, 2013, in regards to Joe Rico being shot at the residence while the children were present.
And when you first got the case, were you able to make contact with Mom as far as asking who the dads were?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you mentioned the name Joe Rico. Was he one of the named dads in these cases?
Yes, sir.
And who is he the named dad to?
The mother had informed me that he was the father of possibly Elizabeth.
Okay. And what was mother's name, just for the record?
Tina Martinez.
Okay. There was a police investigation into this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you ever able to make contact with Mr. Rico?
Yes, sir, in the hospital.
Okay. What type of conversation did you have with him? Did he tell you what had happened?
He would not tell me what happened. He just informed me that he does claim Sky as his daughter, but no other children.
Okay. Did he state whether he was just unsure if he was the father to Elizabeth or if he did not think he was?
I don't recall the exact conversation we had. I apologize.
Okay. At the time, was he just in the hospital recovering? Had he been arrested? What was his situation in the hospital?
At the time, he was recovering. I had the conversation with law enforcement that they were going to interview him and had additional concerns of gang affiliation at the time.
Did mom tell you who the father to Camden was?
Yes, she had informed me it was Cam Daniel.
Okay. Were you able to make contact with that person?
I was not able to. We did have another investigator with the department out of Lubbock who was able to make contact with him in jail.
Okay. So where was, you said in jail, where was he incarcerated?
It was in Lubbock County.
Okay. During any of these conversations, did either one of the fathers give names of people they wanted to try to place children with?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Did either one of the other fathers or alleged fathers state that they were willing to cooperate and work services with the department?
No, sir.
Okay. Did the department try to work out to prevent removal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what efforts did you go through to try to prevent the removal at that time?
We attempted to have a supervising party in the home with Tina. That did not work out. There was a maternal grandmother that was in the home, but due to concerns in past CPS history, we weren't able to use her. We attempted to reach out to additional family and friends to be a supervising party. At that point, the mother wasn't taking it seriously. There were concerns that it wasn't going to be followed through in regards to a safety plan.
Okay. And due to those concerns, the reason for the department being involved, Father Joe Rico was in the hospital recovering from gunshot. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the alleged dad, the name you got, Cam Daniel, was incarcerated in Lubbock, correct?
Yes, sir.
With those concerns, do you believe it was in the best interest of the children to remove them and place them in care?
Yes, sir.
And where were the children placed?
I apologize. I don't remember where Camden was placed. I do know Elizabeth was placed in Lubbock.
Okay. They at the time they were not able to be placed together. Is that correct?
Correct. We did request they be placed together, and we were unable to find a placement for all three children.
Okay. Are you aware now that all three children are placed together?
No, sir, I was not aware of that.
Okay. But at the time you went off of the case, were the children adjusting to where they were?
Oh, yes, sir.
Were there any concerns at that time about the children?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. No medical or dental or any other issues that needed to be looked into at the time?
I do believe when Elizabeth was placed, there were, I believe, some bruises, just some concerns that the foster parents had found when placing her.
Okay. When y'all discussed with mom who the possible father to Camden was, did mom make any concerning statements about dad?
I do not recall at all. I do believe during the beginning of the beginning of the investigation, she had informed me that he was kind of no good and not in Camden's life. And then when we did remove, she had informed me that he wasn't that bad.
Did she state anything about had just beat a case out, a CPS case out of Lubbock with that dad?
I do not recall.
But due to all the circumstances surrounding your investigation, you believe it was in the best interest to ask for removal of the children?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Barfield?
Yeah, given the state of the case, I have no questions.
Okay. Mr. Hammonds?
Miss Butler, were you aware that Mr. Rico left the hospital, I guess, basically without consulting with the medical staff?
Yes, sir. We did receive a call that he had left prior to being discharged. That was all the information we were given.
Okay, then I guess after or before you left contact with the case, did you know he'd been placed in the Potter County Jail?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you know he had been placed in the Potter County Jail?
I don't recall
At any-
if he was there while my case was open.
Okay. You never did visit him at the Potter County Jail?
Yes, sir, I did actually, yes.
Okay. When you visited him at the jail, was it just kind of an information gathering visit, or how would you describe it?
We went over removal paperwork, all of the concerns, the allegations. He didn't really say much. He didn't want to be there.
Okay, I was going to say, did he act interested in, working with the department?
No, sir, not at all. He just wanted to leave the room.
Okay. And he didn't give you names of any relatives that might be interested in keeping the girls?
No, sir, not that I recall.
I have nothing further, Judge.
All right. Ms. Lucero, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Fouts?
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Zavala?
No questions.
All right. Mr. Trout, any further questions of this witness?
Nothing further from Ms. Butler, Your Honor.
All right. Is she free to go at this time? Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Okay. All right, Ms. Butler, thank you for logging in. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
Thank you,
You as
Gordon.
well.
All right, you can call your next witness.
Call Christina Hunter, Your Honor. And how are you familiar with that case or those
I
cases?
have been the primary caseworker on this case since it transferred to us from investigations.
Okay. And you were here at the beginning when we announced the mediated settlement agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were at that mediation.
Yes, sir.
Did you receive the exhibits that I sent out?
Yes, sir.
And did you receive exhibit number 1, marked M and R1?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell me what that is?
It is the typed up mediated settlement agreement that we all worked together on, basically. I want to say it was on the 20th, earlier this last month. Sorry.
And is that a file marked copy of that mediated settlement agreement?
Yes, it is.
And that was signed by all parties?
Yes.
And that is an accurate copy of the agreement that was reached that day.
Yes.
Are you asking the court today as to mom to enter in at the end of this to enter an order approving the mediated settlement agreement and allowing the case with mom to proceed as laid out in the settlement agreement?
Yes.
And do you believe that's in the best interest of the children?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit Exhibit M and R1, which is the mediated settlement agreement that was filed with this court on January 31st of 2025.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Judge.
No objection.
No.
No objection.
Objection.
All right, petitioners exhibit M and R1 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Ms. Hunter, as to the dads, when you work a case, what is your first steps once you begin working a case?
As to the fathers or any of the parents, one of the first steps we do is to try to make contact with all of the parents, to determine, if they are interested in working services, trying to determine, what their strengths as well as their weaknesses are, so that way we can build upon, both of those, as well as seeing if there's any family members available to potentially place the children with.
And when you first received this case, were you able to meet with the fathers?
I was able to meet with Kaim Daniels. However, I was not able to meet with Joe Rico. He had absconded from the hospital before I was able to make contact with him.
And where did you meet with Mr. Daniels?
I met with him in Lubbock County.
Okay. Did he state whether did he tell you whether he was or was not the father or believed he was?
He stated that he presumed that he was, but he wasn't 100% certain. And he expressed concern over Camden where he was at. He asked if we could look at potentially placing him with his current girlfriend, who is also the mother of his other child. But we discussed about how there needed to be a paternity test done to confirm his paternity on him because he himself had doubts.
And was paternity testing done on Mr. Daniels?
It was.
And was he found not to be the father?
He was found not to be the father.
Okay. And so he was non-suited from these cases, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did mom, after that, did mom ever give you any names of potential fathers or who she thought the father might be of Cam?
No, sir.
Have you had many conversations with her about this?
Yes, I have.
Did she ever give just any name, first name, last name, anything as far as who possibly could be?
No, sir.
Okay. Does the department do we do paternity registry searches?
We do, yes.
And was a paternity registry search done in this case?
Yes.
And did any name pop up as anybody intending to be named or to register a claim paternity of Camden?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Do you have was marked as Exhibit M2?
Yes, sir, I do.
And can you tell me what that is?
It's the certificate of paternity registry search.
And that states what you had just testified to, that nobody has made any intent or claim, correct?
Correct.
And was this filed with the court?
Yes, it was.
Your Honor, I would ask to admit exhibit marked M2, the paternity registry search that was just testified to.
Judge.
No objection.
No objection.
Petitioner's exhibit M2 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hunter, are you asking the court today to terminate the parental rights of any unknown father or potential father based upon failure to register with a paternity registry search?
Yes.
And the fact that we have no names of any potential father at this time?
Yes.
And do you believe that is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, I do.
Now, as to Mr. Rico's case, when did you ever get in contact with him?
I did not get in contact with Mr. Rico until he actually was put in Potter County.
Okay. And when was that?
I believe he was put into Potter County in August of this last year.
Okay. And what were your conversations with him at that time?
We discussed his willingness to participate in services, his goals for his children. We discussed if he believed that he was the father to both the girls or just one of them. We discussed familial options, those types of things.
Did y'all discuss family plans of service?
Yes, we did.
And did he?
This is Steve that came in the mail. Do you? I
I'm
really
sorry.
60.
Hang on.
So, do you want me to call Antonia?
Okay, Ms. Fouts, I'm gonna mute your device. Okay. Let's back up because I don't know what Amy got or didn't get.
Amy, what was the last statement you got from us?
Did y'all discuss family plans of service? And she said yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Did you generate family plans of service for this case?
Yes, I did.
And did you generate those at the beginning of the case?
Yes, I did.
And were those filed with the court?
Yes, I did.
And were they made in order of the court?
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive what I sent out, exhibit number marked R2?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what that is?
It is a family plan of service for Joe Rico.
Okay. And is this a copy, accurate depiction of the family plan of service that you generated at the beginning of the case?
Yes, sir.
And it was filed with the court in October of 2023?
Yes, sir.
And this was made in order of the court?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit R2 into the RICO case. It is the family plan of service that Ms. Hunter just testified to.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, petitioner's exhibit R2 is admitted in the RICO case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hunter, once you were able to meet with Dad, you stated he was in jail, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you give him his family plans of service at that time?
Yes, I did. I went over it with him as well.
Okay, and did he sign it?
Yes, he did.
Do you have exhibit number R5?
Yes, sir.
And what is that exhibit?
That is the signed family plan of service that I went over with Joe on June the 17th of 24.
And that was filed with the court on June 24th of 2024?
Yes, sir.
And this is the accurate copy of that report you filed?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit R5, which is the signed family plan of service that was just testified to.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Our petitioner's R5 will be admitted into the RICO case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hunter, throughout the case, even after Dad signed the family plan of service that you went over with him, did Joe Rico ever work any services?
No, unfortunately, he did not. He did have access to work several services while he was incarcerated at Potter County, as they do offer a lot of classes that would have counted towards credit for his plans of service.
And did he ever, to your knowledge, did he ever attempt to work any of those services?
No, sir. He told me that he was working towards his GED, but did not engage in any of the others.
When was your last contact with him?
I believe my last contact with him was, if my memory serves me correctly, I want to say in August.
Do you know where he currently is?
I do not.
Has he tried to reach out to you to inquire as to how to work services or to start services or asking about the children?
No, sir.
Okay. We did do a paternity test on him, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he was found to be the father of Sky and Elizabeth. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that paternity evaluation was filed with the court.
Yes.
And we have, in a prior hearing, adjudicated dad. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Just to go through just some of the services, what was dad asked to do?
So Joe was asked to engage in a lot of the same services that we ask for other parents who have the situation, such as parenting classes through Padre that would have done drug risk education as well as parenting for him. We asked for negative screens to be consistent for supervision purposes to make sure that the kids are staying safe during visitation, to participate in OSAR evaluation, regular drug screening. We asked him to do the paternity testing was one of the services as well. Rational behavior therapy, individual therapy, as well as a psychosocial. Just the usual staying in communication with the department, letting us know if they change addresses or phone numbers, anything of that magnitude. As well as we requested that he participate in BIP.
Okay. Did he ever do the parenting classes?
No, sir.
Did he ever drug screen for you?
Not for me, no.
Okay. Did he do the rational behavior?
No.
Did he do an OSAR?
No.
Are you able to verify whether he lives a drug-free lifestyle or abstains from using drugs?
No, I'm not.
You stated he did do the paternity testing.
Yes.
Did he do the BIP?
No, sir.
Psychosocial?
No, sir.
Individual counseling?
No, sir.
So out of everything that he was asked to do, the only thing he did was the paternity testing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was he was in jail, incarcerated when you first met with him?
Yes.
How did he get out? Did he bond out? Did he plead to his charges? Do you know what he did?
I believe that there was an agreement for the charge that he was being held on.
Do you recall what that charge was?
I believe it was assault with a deadly weapon.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask to admit Exhibit R3 and R4. R3 is the certified copy of the indictment for the charge that Ms. Hunter just mentioned, and R4 is the order of deferred adjudication for that charge.
No objection, Judge.
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Hang on, I'm trying to get them all in front of me. Okay, R3,
And R4, yes, ma'am.
R4. All right, petitioners exhibit R3 and R4 will be admitted in the RICO case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Hunter, has the department been involved in this case with these children for longer than a year?
Yes.
Has the department provided tools and classes and the ability for parents to work back toward reunification?
Yes.
Has Joe Rico availed himself of those resources?
Yes.
He has. He's worked services. He's
Oh,
done.
no, he did the paternity testing, but that's it.
So dad has not done what would be required of him to try to reunite with the children.
Correct.
Do you know whether dad is able to provide a safe and secure environment for the children?
I don't know.
Has he reached out to inquire about the well-being of the children or to ask for visitations?
No.
Is the department today asking to terminate the parental rights of Joe Rico as to the children's based upon failure to work services,
Yes.
constructive abandonment,
Yes.
and place him in danger as far as the incident that led to the removal of the children.
Yes.
And do you believe that that is in the best interest of the children?
Yes, I do.
How are the children doing now?
They're doing wonderful.
All three?
Yes.
And are they placed together?
They are all placed together.
Are they thriving in their placement?
They are.
Are there any issues? I know we discussed earlier in the agreement with mom that there's ECI therapies going on and stuff, but are there any major issues with the children at this time?
There are some developmental concerns in regards to Sky. She does have a delay in her speech development, and due to her age, there's limited testing that can be done to determine if there is anything more that's going on, because she does struggle with multiple instruction, like levels of instruction. So if you tell her she need to go pick up the toy and put it in the box, she struggles with just those two like simple instructions.
Are all the issues that you've just discussed or any other issues, are all those being taken care of and managed by placement?
Yes.
And at this time are the children bonded with placement?
Yes, they are.
Do they also have a bond with mother?
And yeah, I believe so that they do.
Do you believe what we've discussed all today, that it is in the best interest of the children for the court to grant the mediated settlement agreement as to mom and to terminate the parental rights of of the unknown father as to Camden?
Yes.
And to follow the agreement with mom and terminate the parental rights of Joe Rico as to Sky and Elizabeth based upon your testimony today?
Yes.
And that would be in all children's best interest?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Barfield?
Again, Your Honor, in light of the fact we have a mediated settlement agreement as to my client, I have no questions.
All right. Mr. Hammonds?
Ms. Hunter, were you able to visit with Mr. Rico other than just the one time at the jail?
Yes, sir. I met with him, I think actually three or four times.
Did he indicate, did he have any other children other than these two kids?
He did not indicate any to me, no.
All right. Now, after he was released from the jail, you have had no contact with him, correct?
That is correct.
Had you ever had any contact with any of his family members?
Yes, I did.
And after he was released from jail, did you ever try to contact him through them?
Yes, I did.
Did that ever work out?
No, sir.
Did they even indicate they knew where he was?
No, sir.
Since he's been released from jail, have you done any kind of an accurate search on him?
I have not done an accurate search on him, but I have reached out to Potter County Probation to see if they've known any whereabouts of him. I've done Facebook searches as well to trying to contact him. I actually was provided a post by Miss Martinez that was a post of Joe Rico explaining kind of where he was here in Amarillo, and I did provide that information to Potter County Probation. I was not going to attempt to go to that location because the image was him posted with a handgun.
I understand. I have nothing further, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Lucero?
Just a couple. Ms. Hunter, you stated that the mother, after it was found that Mr. Daniels wasn't the father, that she never gave you a name of any potential father for Camden. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In meeting with her, and you stated that you had asked her various times about, potential father. just by your interactions with her, was it something like she didn't want to share that information, or just possibly that she didn't know who the father was?
To be fully honest, I feel like may possibly be both, but I'm not able to tell fully.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Fouts?
Ms. Hunter, can you agree that any continued relationship with Mr. Rico would pose such a danger to the children that that greatly outweighs any financial benefit that Ms. Martinez might receive by retaining his parental rights?
Yes, ma'am.
It's way better for these kids not to have a relationship with him. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
And Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trout, anything further of this witness?
Nothing further of this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Ms. Hunter?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right, does the department rest?
Department rest, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Barfield, anything to present?
I would just ask the court to approve the mediated settlement agreement in its final order. I do, at this particular time, I have a question for the court, but we can wait till after everybody announces. Okay.
All right. So do you rest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Hammonds?
Judge, just for the record, I'd like to make a statement that when Mr. Rico was in the Potter County Jail, I was able to talk to him a couple times. At that time, he did not know how he was going to resolve the criminal matter up until about, I think, December. I believe Mr. Harwood represented him. I certainly encouraged him that once it was resolved, in whatever manner, that he contact me or his caseworker, because his parental rights were in jeopardy. He assured me he would do that. He was placed on probation. I tried to get a hold of him through his family members. I talked to Andrew DeHart with the adult Potter County Probation Department. He was assigned to Mr. Rico's case. Mr. Rico never made his initial appointment with Mr. DeHart. Mr. DeHart has had no contact with Mr. Rico. I believe at the present time there is a warrant for Mr. Rico's arrest for not doing what he's supposed to on probation. My efforts to contact him through family members have been zero, or the results have been zero. Even his mother told me she has no idea where he is. In light of that, Judge, I mean, I don't have anything else to say as far as what's in the kid's best interest or anything, but I am not aware of any effort by Mr. Rico, to follow up as the father of these kids. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Ms. Lucero?
Your Honor, since I was appointed on this case, after Mr. Daniels was found not to be the father, I have, during our hearings, and I've reached out to try to see if there's any information on an unknown father. As Ms. Hunter just testified, no information was ever given. So I made efforts, but I didn't obtain any information. So I have nothing further for the court.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Fouts?
Judge, I'm not sure we passed on Miss Hunter, but I don't have any more questions for her. And I don't have any witnesses to present.
Okay, so you rest as well.
I rest, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala, anything to present today?
No witnesses, Your Honor. I rest.
All right. Do you have a recommendation to make?
I do. I do believe it would be in the best interest of the children for the mediated settlement agreement to be incorporated in the final order. I also believe it's in the children's best interest for Joe Rico's parental rights to be terminated, as well as those of the unknown father.
All right. Thank you. All right, then in both cause numbers, I do find that it, by clear and convincing evidence, well, let me start over. All right, in the RICO, by clear and convincing evidence, it is in the best interest of the children, Elizabeth and Sky, to terminate the parental rights between their father, Joe Rico, based on Texas Family Code 161.001B1, the E, N, and O grounds, and under the best interest, Texas Family Code 161.001B2. All right, and cause by clear and convincing evidence, it's in the best interest of the child to terminate the parental rights between the unknown father, based on Texas Family Code 161.002, subsection B2, is failure to register with the paternity registry. Okay, now in both cases, I will name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the permanent managing conservator of the children, all three children. I will name Tina Martinez as a possessory conservator. Will not order any child support or medical support to be paid by mother at this time. And I will adopt the terms and conditions of the mediated settlement agreement in full. Interveners will remain as placement. And let me ask, Ms. Fouts, do they wish to remain in the case as the case moving forward as interveners?
Your Honor.
Okay, you broke up, but I think you said yes. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so they'll remain not only as placement, but they will remain in the case. All right, at this time, then I will dismiss all other court-appointed counsel after the de novo and appellate timeframes expire, with the exception of Ms. Zavala, who will remain as the children's attorney and guardian ad litem. Counsel, as always, be mindful that your de novo timeframe does begin to run since I've rendered an open court. And as a reminder, if you're instructed to file a notice of appeal, please do not do so until a final order has been signed and adopted by the referring court. All right, I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. And for those who are still involved, we will have our first review hearing April 24th of 2025, and that will be on a 9 o'clock docket.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As interveners are remaining in the case, I don't know if you have any statutory authority. I would like to remain in the case to represent Mrs. Martinez as well. It's a fairly complex order, and I'd like to be, it's an unusual request. I don't even know if you have the authority to do it, but I don't want her unrepresented in this, and she doesn't have the funds to have an attorney.
No, I'm good with that, Mr. Barfield. I should have asked you that. My apologies. It is typically my policy, if we're going to leave, if we've still got these kind of issues still going into the conservatorship case, that I'll leave you in place for Ms. Martinez.
I appreciate that, Judge.
All right. The other counsel will be dismissed since their representation essentially will end at this point.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
I do have a housekeeping question for you, since this is kind of unusual. In regards to a fee sheet, do I put interim or final on my fee sheet here, since you're keeping me in?
No, it's final.
I've never requested to stay on a case for a parent before, but she's young, so.
Yeah, she is. No. I would have been, that would have been my intent. So I'm glad you asked, since I announced what I did. So no, just to clarify, I'm glad you did.
Okay. So do you want me to just put interim on the pay sheet or final?
No, this is a final.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you. We'll see you.
We're here today for permanency hearings on each case. We're conducting these through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Cherry's making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Mickey Lane is standing in for Christina Hunter on these cases and testifying for me today. we're here, we're present ready.
Was there anything for her?
Leanne Fouts, Your Honor, I'm here for placement. I believe my there she is. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I brought Miss Perry in, so she's here.
Brooks Barfield ad litem. For Tina Martinez.
Stacy Zavala for the children.
Okay. Ms. Lane, thank you for filling in. I appreciate it. So if you want to give us an update since the court, what's happened since the court report, that would be great.
Okay, what I was told is the kids are doing great. There's no issues with them. They are developing as they should physically. Sky is still delayed in her speech, and Camden still struggles with articulation, but otherwise is doing good. Sky will be having an evaluation to go to ECSE next year in school, but should be admitted no problem due to her speech delays. Mom has refused to meet with Christina and has been non-responsive to any and all attempts for her to meet. She is not following the requirements of the mediated agreement. She doesn't attend visits unless we transport her, as she has no backup plan for rides. She's missed 8 visits since February till April 17th. She has not been attending doctor visits or follow-up with foster parents. She did not attend the ECI as she should either. She attends periodically, but missed the entire month of March of ECI appointments and has been inconsistent in April. She has gotten more than 10 notices of the appointments, 99% of the time, via email to her attorney, as well as Stacy Zavala included. She's still underfeeding the kids during visits, and they are coming home hungry. Despite Christina informing her that Camden eats adult meals, she's still allowing the girls to play instead of eating. She's not provided any check stubs or notification of work, so she's not sure where she is working, but she's stating that she works overnights a lot. Tina will also need to go drug screen as she hasn't drug screened. And that is my update, Your Honor.
Ms. Lane, are you asking for hair follicle on UAs today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have y'all staffed what you're wanting to do about all this?
She has not staffed this yet, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Barfield.
Your Honor, obviously not the report that we wanted to hear. We're in the process of trying to contact Tina to see kind of what's up with her at this point, because this is absolutely kind of 180 as to the direction she was heading. So we're in the process of trying to get her in and see what I can do to try to help the situation. And so that's where I'm at.
Okay. Ms. Fouts.
Judge, the kids are doing very, very well in my client's home. They're getting all the nurturing and love they need.
Okay, and I mean, Ms. Pear, mom's not knocking on your door, ringing your phone off the wall.
Your Honor, she asked for pictures of the kids over Easter, and asked how their Easter was. I have not heard from her since and haven't heard from her much before that. She did say that she didn't have the email to Sky's ECI appointments, but the only thing that I can do, which I didn't at this last text message, is direct her to Christina.
Okay. All right. And that's fine. Okay, well, I appreciate you being here today. All right, let's see, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, the children continue to do very well in placement. I got to Zoom with them and see them. You know, they're thriving there. They do very well there, and I've got no concerns about them there.
Your Honor, can I ask Mrs. Zavala a question?
Absolutely.
Stacy, you heard the same report I did. What information do you have? Have you had what have the kiddos related anything to you?
So the kids are still very, very young.
Right.
My information comes from both Christina and placement, and I will note, I didn't see if amended reports came in. I know for 98% of our cases, when we're in the permanent managing conservatorship stage, the reports generally only have information about the kids. I would ask that going forward that the report in this case include information about mom, because none of that was included in the report that was filed. I did get information, for example, from Miss Pear that at one point during the middle of a therapy session that mom was invited to and could have attended, kind of right in the middle of it, she texted and say, "Hey, can you send some pictures?"
Okay.
But didn't mention anything about the actual thing that was going on right that moment. It's kind of the continuing concerns about, we need her to know what's going on with the kids,
Right.
and be involved. So,
Okay.
All
right. I just kind of curious if you'd heard anything, so I'll try to get on it and see what I can do. Thank you, Judge.
And Judge, I will say that I most of what I've seen have been some emails that come after mom has not been responsive to some things. I'll get attached to some of those emails. I didn't know, I will say I didn't know the whole of everything kind of the same. I noticed the report didn't mention much, and Ms. Zavala, I was planning on addressing that with my clients, that we need a little more information as far as mom and the reports. I would ask Ms. Lane also, Ms. Lane, did Ms. Hunter mention anything to you about where mom is living now? Because I had received an email back in February that mom had moved out of that rental she was in. Is she living with her mom now?
From my understanding, that was the last I did hear on this case, that mom was living with her mom.
Okay.
But it's unsure because the meeting, nobody's been able to meet up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to clarify, is Camden placed there as well?
Yes, all three of them there.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I had it straight. Okay. All right. Great. Okay, anybody have anything further?
Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Okay, well, big thanks to Ms. Pear, to you and your husband, and we really appreciate you all taking such great care of these kids. And I'm sorry that some of this, it's bound to be frustrating to y'all, and I wish it were different, but we'll just see what we got to do, moving forward. So, Mr. Barfield, I suspect you can find your client and reach out and talk to her, that she's kind of getting on thin ice.
No, absolutely. Like I say, I'll be honest, this was not based upon, I've been with this Tina for a long time now, and that this was really, I'll be honest, I'm surprised, quite frankly, that the report that we got. So I will do my best to, she's still young. I will do my best to see what we can do to maybe redirect, is the best way I can put it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, then today I'm going to continue the department as permanent managing conservator of the children, and will continue their placement. I'm going to order that mother go drug screen before 4 o'clock today. That'll be hair and UA. So I guess everybody start trying to get in touch with her to get her there. Failure to appear, of course, is deemed a positive result. Let's see. I'm not gonna, I don't want to change anything yet regarding what, as far as mom's ability to make some of these appointments. I don't want to start, I'm not going to start changing on that just yet, but you know, again, Mr. Barfield, you can communicate to her. I can certainly put a stop to all that. So let's just see how it goes for the next few months.
Yeah, we're already on it, as a matter of fact, so.
Okay. All right then, I'll see everybody back, September 25th of 2025 on a 9 o'clock docket.